Should I announce it for you? Do you want me to do that?
Yeah. Okay, right. Do it.
I'll be your Roger Goodell. Gino.
Okay,
I'll be your Roger Goodell. All right, I'm gonna go to. I don't want to see any analysis. I literally just want to see the pick. All right, Gino, with the 51st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Cam Jurgens. Center.
I told you Cam Jurgens was going to be the pick. That's a great pick. It's a great pick. They need a center. I love Cam Jurgens.
I'm not a fan of this, man. I'm not a fan. I don't think they needed an offensive lineman right now. I think that's a luxury pick, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I think Landon Dickerson could have played center. Issac Seumalo, Jack Driscoll could be a starting guard in this league. Nate Herbig can be a starting guard in this league. I understand what you do is the trenches and you take linemen, but the fact that 2 of these first 3 picks were on the interior of the line, and Jordan Davis, I understood. I'm not going to negate that pick because of this, but the fact that you came away with 0 linebackers, corners, and safeties again in a draft is extremely frustrating. But it is so on brand for this football team that they went defensive line, offensive line, and receiver. And I guess they're just never going to waver no matter what.
Yeah, probably not, man. I mean, from what we have heard and what we saw around the last couple of days, I mean, I figured that Cam Jurgens was probably going to be the pick. He wasn't going to make it out of the second round like most people had said. You have to replace Jason Kelce eventually, and I always go back to the season Jason Peters got hurt, and they moved Lane Johnson from right tackle to left tackle. They don't want to move Landon Dickerson, I believe. I don't think they want to move those guys around. I think they know that they have Landon at that left guard position, Jordan at left tackle. Cam Jurgens is going to be a plug-and-play center. Right guard, you have your selection of Issac Seumalo. I mean, Jack Driscoll could play there as well, and then you have Lane Johnson. I just think it's a Philadelphia Eagles pick. I mean, that's what it is. Like it's a B pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the report was we saw from Tony Pauline last week that the Eagles really liked Cam Jurgens. So it's not really surprising. And I think maybe their vision is we don't want to move Dickerson from left guard. He was a stud last year at that position. Issac Seumalo has been really good as a guard since he took over as a full-time starter in 2018. So they don't really want to move at anything, right? They don't really want to shuffle multiple spots. They don't want to have Dickerson go to center, have a new left guard as well. They just want to go, look, Kelce's out, Jurgensen's in, plug and play. The logic there, I understand. But again, I just think you could have found that in other avenues. And I just maybe, and if you would have did that and one of the other 2 spots would have been like Kyle Hamilton, I would have understood. But I don't know where the safety is coming from now, unless you're really confident Honey Badger's coming. I don't know where that other long-term corner is coming from, unless you love Zach McPherson. I'm tired of, I know you're supposed to go line so much more than other positions. It's so important. And you won a championship mostly because of that. Let's be real. But I'm frustrated that we always have to sacrifice the other positions for it. That we've never just taken, I'm not even saying do it every year, that you haven't just taken 1 year just to maybe with 1 damn pick go corner. Again, I've said this stat a million times on our podcast, but the Eagles have taken a linebacker, corner, or safety in the first 2 rounds only 4 times in the last 12 years. The last time they did it was 2017. And before that, it was 2012. So that's where
Jeff Stoutland was just smiling ear to ear with Jeffrey Lurie.
Well, that's the other thing. You have Jeff Stoutland. He can turn a 7th round rugby player into a star tackle. I don't need to take a lineman in round 2.
I get it. I know. I mean, Andrew DeCecco, longtime friend of the show, said, I get the logic, but the Eagles have far too many needs to take a backup center at 51. I wouldn't even consider it like a backup center. Like he's going to be starting next year. Like just put that into the.
Is he though? What happens if Jason Kelce pulls a Jason Peters? Jason Peters, and he just keeps running it back.
Then
I don't know. Maybe this. Yeah,
I think personally, Lou, they like the depth of the cornerback and safety group, which I personally do too.
Yeah, and maybe you don't. And if you don't love Tariq Woolen, fine. I'm not saying force those picks. And again, safety, there wasn't anybody really left. Let's be honest, value wise. But I don't know. I was hoping that maybe you go linebacker, or maybe you did like a corner safety like I did. It's just It's more of just the fact that they came away with 3 picks and none of them were at those spots is frustrating, because I'm sick of sick of having Band-Aids at those positions and just, I don't know, having to have your lines bail you out, not on offense more than defense, but
I totally get your frustration with it. And we still have 83. I mean, I believe that they'll probably try and trade back from that spot to grab some more picks, but ultimately they stuck with what they do all the time. I mean, they're through the roof. Nick Sirianni, he's happy about it. I mean, you just have to trust in what they believe. And I believe in Jeff Stoutland. I preach the gospel of Jeff Stoutland. If Stoutland saw this kid and said, we could have the best 5-man line in the NFL for the next 5 to 10 years, it's hard to argue with one of the best offensive line coaches in the history of the sport. And I do like the ability for position coaches to have such input with your general manager and to have that cohesion, because at least they're getting that input, and it's not just saying, oh, we're going to be the smartest guys in the room. We're taking Trey McBride, but nobody in the room liked him. Like, hey, everybody in the room seems to like Cam Jurgens.
Just say it. You wanted sexy, and this wasn't sexy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, sure. But no, because I do understand the meat and potatoes are required. Like, I do know that. And I know the Eagles don't want to just be good at the offensive line. They want to be the best. They want to be the top unit. And they're not willing to sacrifice any of those positions being weaknesses. And they don't even really want to settle. It's just having an okay guard spot or an okay center. So I do get that. And like the way the board fell, I do understand the sides of this pick. I'm not going all in and raging like the Jalen Hurts selection. I'm just frustrated more about what they don't have at those other positions and that just continues. When I feel like, again, you have been so set up with those other spots that you just keep investing top picks in. But
I've wanted a safety for 5 years, buddy.
Yeah, man. And you still haven't gotten it. I don't know if you're ever on Locked On Eagles going to get one. If you're going to be a scout at the NFL level, you're going to be the one that takes the safety for the Eagles.
Could you imagine the long con of long cons that I find my way into the Eagles building in NovaCare, and we finally get my input to get a safety? That would be something, my friend. But
all right, Gino. Go ahead.
No, all I'm going to say is that it was expected. I know that these picks, the Jordan Davis pick, it isn't the sexiest, flashiest pick. Cam Jurgens pick isn't the sexiest, flashiest pick. Well, A.J. Brown was exactly the sexy and flashy that we wanted. We got a touch of that yesterday. Chimney Kempski was right on saying after that crowd-pleasing day yesterday, Howie Roseman makes a move like this. He was referencing quarterback, but hey, this is a guy who is the quarterback of your offensive line. And if they believe in Cam Jurgens to be a capable replacement for a player who seems to be irreplaceable, you have to put a little bit of stock into that about how much they respect this kid and believe he could take that role.
Well, they still do have another pick today, so they could go corner safety with that 83rd overall
I believe
selection.
they will, Lou. I'm there.
We'll get into that pick later on tonight. We will have a reaction podcast at the end of day 2 of the NFL draft. We're going to sign off for now. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. Again, day 2 of the 2022 NFL draft. Make sure, though, continued analysis coming up on Twitter. Hit us up at LockedOnBirds, at DiBiase, LOE, and at GC24_football. Last sign off from Tony. I'm checking out for the night, guys. Great catching up. Appreciate Tony and everybody else that tuned in. We'll see you guys later. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on all podcast platforms for the recorded version of the show. And as always, thank you for listening and watching, and let's go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.